my dear friends, and welcome back to Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel. Today, we are into the episode 8 and 9. These episodes are going to be together. And in our journey in the 10 days, in the trip in 10 days around the Apulia region. So today we are heading towards Otranto direction from Lecce. So we are driving south direction, and we are going to Otranto. Okay, let's go. Let's see the beautiful image we have here. These are the typical beaches. Let me spend few words about these beautiful beaches. Anyway, typical Mediterranean beaches, and they are simply amazing by the crystal water, crystal clear water, different shades of blue, nature, forest just behind. So it's a beautiful place and it deserves to be seen. So let's go and let's start reading from the article of the Telegraph. The rugged Baia dei Turchi. Okay, let me go back because Baia, the bay, this is called the Turkish Bay. And so it's a well known place here in Apulia region. And actually, this is one frame of the Turkish Bay. Okay, let's start reading. Forest backed beaches and historic chapels. Keep heading south around 25 miles to Otranto. On the Adriatic coast, we are going to Otranto. It's time to relax on some of the magnificent local beaches. This is just one of the many, many beautiful beaches that you can find in Salento. Salento is all part of Lecce province, and Otranto is also part of Lecce province. So if you are going to Lecce, it's a must to visit Otranto as well. Anyway, places such as the Turkish Bay, in Italian we say Baia dei Turchi, backed by cicada boozing pine forest. Cicada I think is an insect. I think they're similar to grasshoppers. That is quite the sound of the grasshoppers here during the summer. You can hear everywhere. Anyway, here it's called cicada. It's a word that I don't know, but let's take it for good. If the Telegraph is saying cicada, I take it. And say to be where the Ottoman and say to be where the Ottoman Turks landed in 1480. That's why it's called the Turkish Bay. So the Ottomans, when the Ottomans were conquering all the Mediterranean area, Greece, Albania, all the southern coast of the Mediterranean Sea, so the North Africa. So, and they also conquer many times Italy. It's well known that Bari and many other towns had been conquered. Then they were leaving. They were never occupying for a very long time. Obviously, they were always fighting and wars back in these days. 1480, we are still talking about Middle Age because we let the Middle Age end by the history in 1492 when Christopher Columbus discovered America. So we are before Christopher Christophorus Columbus discovered America. Then, or Porto Badisco, a beautiful small bay that's ideal for snorkeling. Yeah, many people who love anyway to do snorkeling and swimming in crystal clear water is the perfect place. It gets too crowded in the summer, so it's ideal to come here in the shoulder season. It's true. That's absolutely true that August and July it's usually packed, the place. It's maybe hard to find a room to rent and it's also very expensive. So I would always recommend to visit these places in June and in September because July and August are extremely warm. These 2 months is also very hard to cope with very high temperatures, while, for example, in June and in September, the weather is not that hot, so it's possible to enjoy, and for sure you avoid all the Italian tourism, because the Italian tourism it's focused just on July and August. Now, there's a great place to stay set back from Baia dei Turchi, from the Turkish Bay, Monjo dell'Elefante, doubles from £138 per night, including breakfast, allowing easy access to the beach. So generally, it's nice to find a place that is close to the beach, like this. You are in a walking distance and you can enjoy and spend the day between these forests and beaches that are practically just where the beach ends, then starts the forest, and you can enjoy the fresh air of the forest if it's too hot. So it's a beautiful spot also to spend the day in the forest. Okay, so this area is well known for the churches and chapels that they have in this area. You might find everywhere. But for example, now I'm gonna mention here Montemilone. In Montemilone, we have a beautiful chapel in the forest, and it's called Madonna del Bosco. Basically, in Italy, everywhere you go, you find these little churches, not in the town, but they can be in the forest, close to the sea. They're beautiful, so it's always worth to go and visit, also for the history that they preserve. Okay, here in the picture we have the Tree of Life mosaic in the Chapel of the Martyrs. Yes, this church is renovated for the mosaics that are hidden like a secret in this chapel, and it's well worth it to see. It's a pity that I never been there. I never been to Lecce. As I said, I never been to Salento. It's a must for me to visit. Even if, for example, next summer I'm planning to visit Calabria. So my two options are: will I go to Salento or will I visit Calabria? To be honest, I'm more tempted to visit Calabria, and then I will wait in the future to visit Salento. But it's a must. It's a must. It's somewhere that I have to go. The thing is that cannot be a daily trip for me. Both of it or both of them, Calabria, either Calabria or Salento, because it takes me nearly 3 hours to reach one place or to another. So it cannot be a day trip. Okay, let's keep reading here. Now, the vulnerability of Otranto's sea-facing position comes into sharp focus when you visit Cattedrale di Santa Maria Annunziata, where the Chapel of the Martyrs, the one that we just watched, look the picture, is ghoulishly decorated with the bones of 800 Christians who perished during the Ottoman invasion. Now, didn't know about this. To be honest, I heard before that actually I have a friend, she's originally from Serbia, from Belgrade, and she was always telling me that in Serbia there is a church made with the bones and the skulls of the Christians who died under the Ottoman occupation of Serbia. So it's something that was kind of familiar to me, but when I read the article and I read that we also in Italy have this type of where they experience also in Italy this type of episode, so was a bit touching, because obviously when you enter in a place like this and you see the skulls and the bones, so doesn't have to be it that probably makes a very tough impression, let me say. Of the 800 Christians who perished during the Ottoman invasion. The cathedral tops the town and is also distinctive for its extraordinary 12th century mosaic of the Tree of Life, which covers the entire floor of the interior and is rich in biblical scenes, mythological creatures, and medieval symbolism. Interesting, very, very interesting. It deserves to be seen, this place, because anyway, I love history, and I'm always interested in this type, in the symbolism of the medieval, but symbolism in general, mythology. I love mythology, also biblical things. So it's all very, very interesting from the historic point of view. Let's keep reading. The chief pleasure of Otranto, however, is wandering its narrow street that twist and turn within the city walls. Obviously, Otranto city, Otranto town, I never visit, but so has to be very interesting. Sounds a bit like Ostuni or Lecce, kind of white towns, and with walls. So city walls, eating, drinking, and relaxing with a sea view. Try l'altro baffo, the other mustache. That's what l'altro baffo is, the translation. For high, for high-end Salento cuisine. Or try peccato di vino, which is still a little fancy, but not overly so. So it might cost a bit. They could be a bit expensive, these places, but so I think once you're there, it's possible to find much cheaper local restaurants that are maybe not well renovated as these one that are recommended by the Telegraph, but I would always recommend to try and discover the Italian cuisine because it always deserves to be tried. It wherever you go, it might switch from one dish to another. It's enough maybe to drive 50 kilometers to find already another different type of cuisine, different recipes, different dishes that are typical regional dishes. So let me say, it's worth to travel and discover. After this, my friend, I finished to read the article for today. So we are at the end of the episode 8 and 9. And so I'll wait for you for the last episode, the episode 10, uh, in the 10 days around Apulia region. Okay, my friends, see you soon to the next video. Have a nice day.